Yo, we live? We're live? We're live? Yes, we're live. What's going on? We going right in, right? Whoever's here, you're here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Special edition. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. If you're watching the replay of this live, I welcome you. Come on in, grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you, some food for thought. Come on in. Come on in. Glad to see y'all too. It don't matter how many people are here as long as you're here. That's all that matters as long as you're here. Don't worry about who else is not here because they going to come. They might watch the replay. Some people didn't know I was going live. You know me. I just pick up the phone and get it done. We're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis. We're going to talk about Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Let's get it in. Yep. Come on in. Come on in. Yep. Tank Davis. We know what happened, right? So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Uh, it's unfortunate, but we have to talk about it. You know, Tank Davis was arrested, as we all know. We already know this already. That Tank Davis was arrested. Okay? He was arrested. He was on a run for like 2 weeks, though, right? Yeah, yeah. He was on a run for like 2 weeks. U.S. Marshals was on his top. They finally captured him. I don't know if he turned himself in or they actually just found him or located him. We don't know. But we do know that Tank Davis was arrested. We were informed in the boxing community, right, that Tank Davis posted bail, bond was set, and I think he is released as of tonight. We're going to get with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson in a minute, but we have to address Tank Davis. We're starting the show off right. If you are watching the live through a replay, I want to welcome you. Welcome you. I would like to hear your thoughts and your feedback in the comments section below. If you're here live in living color with us, I appreciate you coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with your boy, with me tonight. Appreciate you. Come on, let's talk about it. Listen, everybody, nobody really knew that I was going live tonight. So I'm not expecting a large audience. We're going to shoot right off the cuff with it. But we're here now. Salute to everybody that's in the live chat. Let me double salute y'all. Double salute to everybody that's in the live chat. Appreciate y'all. Look, right? Check this out. We cannot consider this situation regarding Tank Davis as a conspiracy against Tank. At some point, as grown men, we have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions and our words. Okay? I just wanted to start it off with that. Come on, grab a plate though. Grab a plate because I have some food that I want to serve you tonight. Some food for thought. Grab a plate. Check this out, right? Tank Davis was involved in a verbal and or physical altercation allegedly back in July of 2025. It really had, and I'm saying July because that's when all of these reports just started surfacing because the body cam footage was released on Tank Davis in July, but it happened in June on Father's Day. Y'all remember that? On Father's Day, okay, this is when Tank got arrested. We remember this, right? Tank Davis got arrested. It happened from an incident. The incident happened on Father's Day, June of 2025. Y'all remember that? Okay. Some of y'all remember that, right? Where he was going to go pick up his children. It was at nighttime. He was going to pick up his children on Father's Day at his children's mother's house. I believe she lived with her mother, right? There was a verbal dispute. Allegedly, Tank Davis threw a box or an object at the baby mom. The mother of the baby mom called law enforcement. They came on the scene. Tank Davis was arrested later on, but he still was arrested. Body cam footage of Tank Davis in the police station has already reverberated on social media. It's all over YouTube. This happened in July when the body cam footage was released. That was in 2025. Okay. Nearly 90 days later, in October of 2025, Tank Davis found himself again in a domestic violence environment with a different woman. I think she's a cocktail waitress, which is what we're talking about now. Within the 3-month time span, Tank Davis was involved in an environment that involved domestic violence. Okay? According to the civil lawsuit, and now a criminal lawsuit that subsequently followed that, Tank Davis allegedly, because he was not convicted of it, so we have to say allegedly, but Tank Davis allegedly grabbed this woman by her hair, dragged her down a flight of steps, pulled her outside against her will, and began harassing her. Tank Davis allegedly entered her workplace uninvited, not to participate as a patron, but to harass this young lady who I think is like 30 years old or something. So when I say young, I don't mean, I was going to leave that alone. I shouldn't even, it just hit my mind. Well, I'm going to say it anyway because I don't care. She wasn't BFTB young when I say young lady. That ain't had nothing to do, BF didn't do nothing to me. But when I hear young and girl in the same sentence, I think about him. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, she wasn't BFTB young. The girl, I'm talking about the young lady. So when I say young lady, she's 30 something. I think she's like 30 years old, right? Oh, okay. Anyway, so Tank Davis had a sexual or romantic relationship with this girl, with this lady, right? For some reason, it didn't work out. I don't know if it was serious or not. But then he goes to her job, her workplace. I don't know if she's a stripper. I don't know if she's just a cocktail waitress. I don't know. But she works in some kind of adult entertainment environment. Okay, so Tank Davis allegedly humiliated this girl, grabbed her out of her job, pulled her weave or her hair or whatever, whatever, dragged her down the steps by her hair. And all of this, and I'm saying allegedly because this was in the criminal documents, this was in a civil suit documents. All of this was caught on tape. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Tank Davis is a good professional boxer. Okay? He's a good professional boxer. He's a knockout artist. He has an impeccable record. He's a decorated amateur, highly skilled and talented in that boxing ring. World champion status, one of the cash cows in the business of boxing. He is a major draw. Tank Davis is a superstar. I told everybody on YouTube there are 3 elements of the criteria that make you a superstar in the sport of boxing. You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. And if you do, you know they stole the slogan from me. Because I've heard other people repeat this on their platform, but I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm talking about my slogan. Tank Davis, bring the cars out. Tank Davis, bring the stars out. And Tank Davis, he bring the bras out. That's when you know you're a superstar in any element or form of entertainment. As a man, if you can bring the cars out, the stars out, and the bras out, you're a superstar. And Tank Davis is a superstar. Make no mistake about it. However, Tank Davis has found himself over and over and over in the involvement and the environment of domestic violence. We recall a couple of years ago, I did a video on this a few years back, when Tank Davis was at a basketball with, I don't know if that was his girlfriend at the time or that was his dip. I don't know. But he was out in public with her, so I'm just going to say that was his girlfriend. Y'all remember this? Some of y'all remember this, right? At the basketball game, they were sitting courtside. Tank Davis came from out of the dressing room area, walked up to the young lady, the girl, the woman, the lady, right? He grabbed her all in the neck area, gripped her all the way up. And what did he do? He poured her by force and dragged her back in the locker room area. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all remember that, right? And that was caught on tape. Why am I bringing all of this up? Because as men, we have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions and our words. Now, this incident that happened in October with Tank Davis was allegedly caught on surveillance footage. They have the Gervonta Tank Davis on tape doing this. This is allegedly. I don't know. And I'm just saying, if they do, considering Tank Davis's history of his involvement with domestic violence against women, okay, on tape, behind the scenes, even civil lawsuits and complaints that were dropped and dismissed. We remember the 911 calls that came out publicly. We remember these things, right? So we cannot ignore his history, whether he be guilty or innocent. His name keeps being surrounded in these type of domestic violence environments, right? And if they have Tank Davis on tape at this girl's workplace, at this lady's workplace, doing what they're alleging, I think Tank Davis is going to jail. I don't know how long he's going to sit. They said he got bail that was posted, few thousands of dollars, which is nothing to Tank Davis if he's in a good financial space. But Tank Davis might do jail time. I don't want to say that because I like Tank Davis as a fighter, but I have to hold Tank Davis accountable. At some point, Tank Davis have to hold himself accountable that when you're done with a woman, leave her alone. This, what I'm saying right now, Tank might not even see this because Tank's seen a couple of my videos before. But somebody that need to hear this might be listening. So this might be for you. Anytime you see yourself as a man being involved in any type of environment of domestic violence with a woman, please walk away. And right after you walk away, leave her alone. If this woman that you're involved with give you the urges, regardless of what she say or do, but if she give you the urges to be in an environment of DV, leave her alone. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this because some of y'all might have came here to hear about boxing, and we're talking about boxing, but at the end of the day, these allegations with Tank Davis is not about boxing because these are things that allegedly occurred between Tank Davis and a third or fourth woman, okay, outside of a boxing ring against a civilian. See, here's the thing that Tank Davis need to realize, and I'm surprised none of the old heads that he hang around, whether his trainer included, didn't put him on the game. You see, some people know how to teach young men how to stick and move in the boxing ring, but don't know how to teach them how to stick and move against women. And what I mean specifically about that is this. If you are in an environment with a woman and that's not your girlfriend and y'all just kicking it, y'all just having fun, these things happen. I'm not promoting fornication. I'm just saying we men on this channel tonight, and some women are watching me too. We're adults. Let's keep it real and shame the devil and speak the truth in love. Okay? If you're in an environment as a man with a woman, right? Y'all just having fun and chilling. When it's over, it's over. That's all I'm saying. Because in this situation with Tank, and I'm only going by the documents that I read in the civil complaint, the woman distanced herself from Tank Davis. This is what she said, that she blocked him. Okay? I'm just going by, hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just going by what the documentation read. It's all allegedly because he has not been convicted. But I'm only going by what that woman said. That's all. That Tank Davis was stalking this girl. He was stalking this lady. She had blocked him meaning communication-wise. She restricted all forms of communication from Tank Davis because of his actions or behaviors or his words, whatever. That's what she said. And he took it upon himself to be the aggressor and pursue her after he was blocked. I don't know if that was true or not, but stalking is a crime. That's all I'm saying. It's a crime. And if these allegations are true, Tank Davis got to hold himself accountable. Bottom line, if they got this man on tape, pulling this girl's hair, dragging her down the steps, he's out of here. I got love for Tank Davis as the fighter, but this right here, we can't. Hey, if it was anybody else, I'd be saying the same thing. So that's why I'm saying allegedly, because he wasn't convicted of anything, right? So I can't just come out and just say he's guilty. But, yo, when it gets domestic, I don't care who you are. And I don't care how long you've been with the girl, the woman that you with or you was with. I don't care how long. I don't care what your history is. I'm telling you right now, from one man to another, from one man to a woman, if you're watching me, when it turns into domestic, the whole relationship is over. I guarantee you. Double salute to Here for Boxing. Thank you for warming up the air fryer with the super chat. Appreciate you, big dog. Let me read what he says. I hate how you hate Bud, but this is an honorable convo. Fanon says he, quote, scuffed her by the collar and walked her outside. End quote. Well, here's the thing. Even if you hate how I talk about Bud, I never lied on that man. That's all I'm saying. And also, I appreciate you here for boxing for not only for your support and contribution, so thank you for that, but also for keeping it 100. You see, you didn't just come out with the hate Bud talk. You gave me my credit. You gave me my flowers while I was here to smell them to talk about an honorable conversation. And I think this honorable conversation definitely needs to be had. So I appreciate you for here for boxing. But the thing about it is this: when you are in a relationship with a woman, I'm talking to men right now, and it turns domestic, it's over. I don't care how many times y'all sleep with each other after. I don't care how many times she cooked for you afterwards. It's over. Done. Forget about it. And guess what? Domestic or DV, we're gonna call it DV because I done said the whole two words for the past 6 minutes, and YouTube might demonetize me, but who cares? We have roller tape film crew members here. And guess what? All it is support, right? It's all about support. But anyway, I'm gonna say DV, right? When DV happens, it doesn't all, how can I say this? Okay, the environment of DV doesn't necessarily mean it's physical. You know, DV is verbal as well. You know that, right? Some of y'all probably didn't know that. DV, right? Even if you're yelling and arguing and screaming at each other back and forth and insulting each other back and forth, right? That's still an environment of DV. Some people don't know that. Some people think it's just physical, like when a physical altercation. No, it's still DV. Some people trauma bond with each other. So DV becomes a safe place and they normalize it in their relationship. That's all I'm saying. Either way you slice it, the relationship is over. This is not the first time we've seen boxers' name be involved with DV. I mean, look, not too long ago, what happened? Devin Haney's name was involved in DV. Y'all remember that? His Muslim wife, now his baby mom, she alleged that Devin Haney assaulted her, physically pushed her while she was pregnant. Y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember Riddick Big Daddy Bo back in the mid 90s. Y'all remember that, right? When he lost his family. Y'all remember that. Some of y'all older guys and older ladies, y'all remember Riddick Bo. You know, Riddick Bo did time behind that for kidnapping his wife and his children. I mean, that's what the charges were. He went to jail for that too. Him and his wife was having some marital problems. She moved to another state, took the kids with her. I think they had like 5 or 6 kids at the time, right? Small kids, right? And Big Daddy found out where they were at. I don't want to call that man Big Daddy I ain't even mean that. Riddick, I'm gonna call him Riddick Bo, because I seen when I just said Big Daddy by itself, when I heard it, it just didn't sound right. Now, Riddick Bo, Riddick Bo, right, was separated from his family, and then he jumped in the car and he went after he found out where they were, and he just wanted his family back, but he just went about it the wrong way. My point is, law enforcement, she went in the bathroom at a McDonald's. She convinced him to allow her to go to the bathroom under the guise that they were going to, be back together, work it out. She was going to voluntarily get in the car and they was going to go back to New York. But what she did was she snuck in the bathroom, picked up the phone, called law enforcement, and they locked Riddick Bowe up. Jermaine Taylor, former unified middleweight champion of the world, good fighter. His name was embroidered in DV as well. Unfortunately, he divorced from his wife and his career and his personal life went downhill. He actually got arrested as well. Mike Tyson, when he was married to Robin Givens, right? And the allegations that she made against him being physically violent towards her. It doesn't stop there. Deontay Wilder. Y'all know I did a video on this. What's that girl name? Telly Swiss? What's her name? Telly Swift. She's dating a football NFL player now. But before she was dating Deontay Wilder, they have a child together. What did she do while Deontay Wilder was fighting Big Bang Zang in another country? She went to the police and filed a restraining order claiming that, allegedly, Deontay Wilder smothered her with pillows. He used to beat on her physically. We've heard these type of things happen with boxers. Most of it's not true. Some of it probably has some truth to it with these boxers. I'm talking about the history. And I'm sure I'm leaving certain people out. Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather served 90 days, pleaded no contest for allegedly physically assaulting the mother of his 3 children, who is expired. She's deceased. She's no longer here. So RIP to her. Right? But all he did was snatch her phone and break it. And, whatever. She was disrespectful to him. But the bottom line is that we've seen this in the sport of boxing time and time again, where boxers' names float around through rumors, civil lawsuits, and even criminal lawsuits by the state and or the Commonwealth being involved in DV. So all I'm saying is to professional boxers, you have to be careful. Because the moment that law enforcement hear the word professional or boxer in the same sentence with DV, it could be a rush to judgment. I'm not accusing the law enforcement officers. I'm just saying it's natural to assume, oh, he a boxer? Oh, man, he definitely hitting her. He definitely pushing her around. It happens. And some of these allegations have not been found credible or true in the past. But if they have Tank Davis on tape, Tank Davis might be sitting down for a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I know people, want to take up for Tank Davis and say this is a conspiracy against Tank. But if they got him on tape, there's not a conspiracy. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I'm a very short guy, so I'm going to keep it tall with you. Tank Davis is always going to be assumed as the aggressor in this case because he's the one that came uninvited and unannounced to her workplace. Whether he put his hands on her or not, that remains to be seen. But the first thing that set this off, where Tank Davis got to hold himself accountable, he pulled up at her workplace, uninvited and unannounced. That's considered stalking, especially after somebody block you, after the girl block you and restrict communication. I'm just going by what the paperwork say. I don't know what's true or not. Law enforcement are claiming they have him on surveillance. The detective of this case, in his report, claimed that he viewed and reviewed this tape from the business establishment where this woman worked at. And he saw Tank Davis pulling her by the hair, dragging her down the steps, and forcibly dragging her outside of the business establishment while she was on the clock working or twerking or whatever it is that she was doing. But she was working. This doesn't look good for Tank Davis, especially considering his history. So if you're trying to take up for Tank Davis, you a fool. You see, this is why idolizing people is wrong. Because sometimes we make mistakes as humans. You can go so hard for a fighter, So hard for an entertainer, so hard for a singer, so hard for a rapper, so hard for an actor, so hard for an actress, rooting for them, being a fanatic. And then when they start doing all of these type of questionable things and behaviors, at some point you got to question yourself as a part of the fan base. And if you are a content creator, you need to be speaking out against Tank Davis. Even if you say we don't have proof that he put his hands on her, I'll give you that. Just the fact alone that he approached her workplace uninvited, unannounced, in itself is stalking. If only you hold him accountable to that, I'm cool with that. But he's got to be held accountable for his actions, just in that alone. We got to keep it real as men. It's no, oh, I'm a fan of his, so I'm not going to, no. I don't play that over here. Y'all know how it is. Hey, you know what you get when you come see Manager Marty. We keep it real all the way. I told y'all 3 years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, when people kept trying to accuse me of being a fan of a fighter, you never heard me say I'm a fan of one fighter. You never heard me say that. Not one, nobody publicly ever heard me say I'm a fan of this fighter. I'm a fan of that fighter. I'm a fan of all the fighters because I represent professional boxers. You all know that. So all I'm saying is we got to hold Tank Davis accountable. He's complicit in one area or another. Once again, whether he dragged this lady by the hair or not, I don't know. But his name keep coming up in these type of environments over and over and over again. So is it the girls that's complaining or is it Tank Davis? It seemed like he was emotional. I saw Tank Davis on tape, and most of you did too, at the basketball game. Y'all remember that? I told you that earlier. A couple years ago, when he grabbed the girl, gripped her up around her neck area, and dragged her out of the courtside area to the dressing room area. Y'all remember that? So we've seen Tank Davis get physical with a woman on tape. We've seen it. Yes, it's in the past, but we still seen it before. But this is still under investigation, and as updates come up, we will talk about it. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You see, a lot of these men get so emotionally attached to these women and don't know how to. Let me just say this. And I'm going to say this because it's just the truth. And I don't know how to be fake. Most of you know me, right? You can't find one YouTube video in 3 years, and I've got over 1,000 something videos that I published through live, through shorts, through long form content, where you ever heard me use profanity, right? But I have to use this word tonight. And if you are a lady watching me, I promise you I apologize in advance. But to illustrate this point, I have to say this because some of my homies know this, and some people that talk to me outside of the sphere of boxing, I always say this to them, and I've been saying it for a while. And I need people to hear this because this is the honest to God truth. Men, sometimes our dickhead turns us into a dickhead. I had to just get that out. I'm sorry. I had to get it out. It is what it is. Y'all heard worse words than that on YouTube. I don't even use profanity, nor do I use the N-word on my platform. So hey, look, man. I had to get that out, man. Because we get so caught up into our lustful desires as men, and we think with the wrong head. And because of that, it causes us to act out emotionally, like what Tank Davis did showing up at this girl job. Because we know he did that at least. That's all I'm saying. There's never a right way to do the wrong thing. That was a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. No, I'm talking about the last sentence, not whatever I said before that. But y'all get the point. Moving right along. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. This was one of the corniest press conferences that I saw. And I have to be honest, I have to keep it real and be transparent. I did not see the entire press conference, from today. But the parts that I did see, it was very distasteful, embarrassing, and whack. I'm so sick of grown men inviting other grown men to their penis and genitals. It really bothers me. There is no place for that in boxing or on YouTube in the boxing community. Y'all heard me tell, what's the boy name? BFTB that. I'm talking about when me and him was going back and forth. That's all I'm saying. It's like, why Teofimo Lopez got to keep telling somebody to suck something of his. He told Shakur Stevenson that his mom need to suck. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no, at some point, we got to have some level of professionalism. You got all these professionals up there. Jay Prince was up there. I seen T.O.'s manager. And T.O.'s manager, I haven't done business with him personally, but from everybody that I know that have said he's a good businessman. I haven't done business with him personally, but he was up there. Jay Prince, Shakur's representation was up there. It's like the managers are up there, the trainers, which is Shakur Stevenson's grandfather. All these old heads up there, these grown men up there. Nobody ain't check him. The host of the press conference asking the questions. Nobody didn't check T.O. At some point, y'all, gotta hold these grown men accountable with that. Boxing is not about sucking nothing, making homosexual comments, racial epithets. There's no place for none of that. These guys have been in the sport long enough. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. They both have been in the sport long enough to maintain a form of professionalism. We have sponsorship opportunities available for this show, for this event. Come on now. At some point, somebody needs to stop it and say, hold up, T.O. We let you get away with that with the last press conference. Not today, not here. We let you get away with saying certain things at the face-off. Not today, not here. That's all I'm saying. When are we going to hold fighters accountable when they're not being professional? Telling somebody to suck you, yo, this is not prison. This is not jail. I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to think about that. I come to watch the press conference to see y'all talk about why you're the better fighter, why you're going to win, not how you're going to win. Like these people who don't know nothing about boxing, hosting press conferences and face-offs, asking, so what's going to happen on Saturday night? Why would you ask that? Who asked an actor or an actress that's in a movie at the premiere, hey, what's going to happen at the end? What's the point of buying a ticket to the movie if you're going to know what's up? That's all I'm saying. It's the same thing with boxing. Promote the fights. I don't want to hear all this extra stuff. They talking about how Teofimo dad was hungover and drunk. What does that have to do with the fight? At some point, all y'all old heads, this is what bothered me about it. All of them was grown men up there. Grown men. Come on, y'all. Y'all co-signing this? I saw Shakur trying to be entertaining when he said, oh, I got a gift for you. I got something I want to give to you or give to your father. And he poured out, I don't even know what kind of drink that was. It was an alcoholic beverage, but I don't know the name of it. But he poured it out. And that, I guess that was his way of saying your dad is an alcoholic or whatever. Here, give him this bottle. I mean, that'd have been cool if it was another gift. That would have been cool if Ryan Garcia didn't just do, I have a gift for you, Joe Goosen. I have a gift for you, Mario Barrios. You know, at the press conference that Ryan Garcia just did. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Lead that to Ryan. I see what Shakur, he's trying to make it entertainment. He's trying to make it entertaining, so I get it. I'm not tripping off of that. He's not the first one at the press conference to come out. Hey, Floyd Mayweather said that he got something for Oscar De La Hoya. Y'all remember when he had the chicken in the cage? That's cool. But be authentic about it. Be original. Don't do the gift part because Ryan Garcia just did that. That was just my observation of the press conference, but it doesn't make me want to buy a ticket for this fight. In fact, I thought about going to the fight. I was going to go to the fight. But family situations came up that required my immediate attention. So I won't be able to make the fight. But I meant every word that I said that I was going to go. Well, I wasn't going to have 10 armed security guards, and I wasn't going to wear any Pumas. I was just joking about that. But yeah, family over everything except for God. So I can't go. But it's all good. I've been to thousands of professional boxing matches, more so behind the scenes in the dressing room, managing fighters. But at the end of the day, this press conference was whack. The face-off was okay. I mean, I did expect Tio to be a little bit more aggressive face-to-face with Shakur at the face-off, the episode of Face-Off, but he made it dry. So let's break down this fight real quick. It's Thursday. The press conference was today. Tomorrow, the weigh-in, right? I want to know what your comments are in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win the fight and how? If you're live and live in color, I promise you I won't hold you too long. In the live chat, let's talk about it. I need some engagement here. Who's going to win in your opinion and how? Tell me how. Now, I see somebody did say Shakur by decision. Teofimo Lopez, to me, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. To me, Teo don't look as sharp as he used to. It looks like to me, and I'm going by the last 6 fights that I've seen Teofimo Lopez engaged in inside that ring. He's been on a decline. Yes, he did beat an undefeated southpaw in Lomachenko. He was the naturally bigger guy, but he did beat Lomachenko, something that no other fighter was able to accomplish. He beat him. But then he turns around and loses to Kambosos. Where I'm getting at is Teofimo Lopez have been very, very inconsistent in his performances. I mean, he'll look good in one fight, and then in the next 2 fights against lower level competition, he doesn't look that good. I actually think that Teofimo lost to Sandor Martin. You know, the southpaw that knocked him down in the second round? I actually also think that Teofimo Lopez lost to Jermaine Ortiz, the guy who's fighting Keyshawn Davis on the undercard, because of his inconsistencies. He'll look good. Then the next couple fights, he looked so-so. He didn't, to me, he won against Arnold Barboza last May of 2025. He did. But he didn't look impressive to me in that fight either. But he does have some strengths. Teofimo Lopez has some strengths. Teofimo Lopez does a pretty good job with cutting the ring off when a fighter's feet is not very fast. Teofimo Lopez does a good job when he is landing combinations. Teofimo Lopez does a good job when he is using agility to get on the inside to land effective punches. Teofimo Lopez has done a good job with his selection of punches, especially his power punches. Anything that's not a jab is considered a power punch. That's according to how they present the punch stats. But Teofimo Lopez raised a lot of concerns for me. Number one, Teofimo Lopez don't throw enough punches. If you're trying to compare how Shakur Stevenson is going to perform in this fight to how he performed against Zepeda, the, two different styles. Teofimo Lopez do not throw more punches or not even enough punches to compare to a William Zepeda, which is how Shakur Stevenson can catch him inside, in between the punches. Teofimo Lopez has a bad habit that I think is going to be very, very critical as a disadvantage if he don't work on it for this fight. He keeps his left down at his waist for too long and too many times throughout the duration of a fight, which is how Sandor Martin clipped him and made him go right down. He cannot keep that left hand down by his waist and not protect himself, because he's going to get caught with a right hand by Shakur Stevenson throughout this fight. Mark my words. When Sandor Martin was using his agility, ring generalship, lateral movement, Teo had no rebuttal for it. He had no answers for it. When Jermaine Ortiz was using good footwork, lateral movement, Teofimo did not have a rebuttal. He didn't have an answer for it. And so guess what? I don't expect Shakur Stevenson to stand in the phone booth like he did against Zepeda. He doesn't have to. Not with Teo. Lateral movement, stick and move, pot shot, tie up. Another thing that Teo don't do that he should work on, or he should have worked on in training camp, is something that fighters don't do to Shakur Stevenson, and that's go to the body. Teofimo Lopez don't have a body attack included in his arsenal. He don't mix his punches up is where I'm getting at with that. I'm breaking Teofimo down like an old rifle. You ain't going to find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad y'all here. And so because of that, some of those advantages will play into the hands of Shakur Stevenson. For example, Shakur Stevenson lacked punching power, knockout punching power. I'm not talking about against guys like Josh Padley. No disrespect to Padley. But I'm talking about top-level competitors who know how to take a punch from big punchers. So I don't expect Shakur to knock Teofimo down. But if he do, you better watch out for the rounds he do it in. Wanna know why? Because Shakur Stevenson has an advantage. I don't know if Victor Conti left the secret batch for him, but I know in his last several fights, he's been with the snack program. And I broke the case wide open and told y'all that. And you never heard nobody else on YouTube talk about Shakur Stevenson being on the snack program with Victor Conti, except for me. And you seen how he looked. I already did live videos on this. All Things, double salute, my brother. He was here. All Things was here. He remember these videos I've done, proving Shakur Stevenson's performance was enhanced in those fights while he was on snack. And guess what? If he's on snack again Saturday night, it's going to be the same thing. Performance will be enhanced. And he ain't going to get tired either. The snack program works. I've been telling y'all that. Did you see how Devin Haney looked? Huh? I told Brian Norman Sr., I told him, he didn't listen to me. I said, don't underestimate Snack. Y'all remember when he kept the lead up to the fight? Man, that Snack stuff ain't working. That ain't going to help no Devin Haney. Okay. And in the second round, what happened? Boop, bop. Set his son right down. Snack program works. And you're going to see it in full effect if Shakur Stevenson is wearing it on his boxing trunks. Because you've seen it in full effect when Shakur Stevenson fought Josh Padley. He was on the snack program then. See, I'm not making none of this up. It's true. Another advantage. Well, I'm going to get to the disadvantage. So I said the lack of knockout power for Shakur. In other words, is he's going to need to keep Teofimo honest. In other words, is make Teo second guess himself when he's trying to come in and close the distance to land those power punches. Give him something to think about. And Powell will stop him right in his tracks. Of course, in a great jab and a 1-2, which is great advantages for Shakur. But we're going to get to the disadvantages. Shakur Stevenson. He also keeps his hands down. But he also keeps them up way longer than Teo because he's a better defensive, technical, and tactical fighter. So with that, Teofimo might have enough to buzz Shakur. I mean, we've seen William Zepeda buzz Shakur, but he bounced back very quickly. Shakur Stevenson have not, in a long time, I haven't seen him have to make adjustments on the fly in that ring. Something that Teofimo Lopez don't do. He don't make adjustments. He be struggling with lower level competition. Teofimo do. But now will he be the one to make Shakur Stevenson have to make some adjustments in this fight? Another thing that Shakur Stevenson have a great strength of doing, and that's that 1-2. Good straight left hand down the middle with the right hook. Shakur Stevenson knows how to throw combinations, and he's accurate when he throws it. Make him miss, make him pay. That's Shakur Stevenson's specialty. He's a good counterpuncher. I'm breaking Shakur down like an old rifle. Good foot movement. Lateral movement. Shakur knows how to tactfully close the distance. I watched him. When he want to get close to you, I watch how Shakur move. He's a really good fighter. Very highly skilled, decorated amateur. So he has to pose that problem for Teo of keeping that lateral movement going. Stopping, digging to Teo's body, coming back upstairs with the 1-2 and the right hook, get right on up out of there. Reset, rinse, and repeat. Shakur Stevenson does something else good to his advantage. He mixes punches up and go to the body. Now, majority of the time he do it, he does one punch and he doesn't have the combination flowing every time. You know how Floyd Mayweather used to go look you in the eye, look a fighter in the eye, jab, stab him to the body, making the fighter that he's his opponent, the fighter that he's fighting, the opponent, make him think that he's trying to hit him upstairs when the whole time he's looking at him to stab that jab to the right in the middle, solar plexus. I've seen Shakur do that several times. Even on the side, right there in the kidney, bow. I've seen Shakur do that. And he mixed those punches up. Head, body, body, head. He can frustrate Shakur. Shakur can frustrate Teo. No doubt in this fight. But if Teo stay focused, not have any mental lapse, like I've seen Teo do before in the past, he can make this a more intriguing fight and a closer fight than what the judges might give him. And on top of that, The bet odds. He's the underdog in this fight. And they fighting where at again? Check that out. Where's this fight being held again? Madison Square Garden. Teofimo Lopez, this is his backyard. How many times Teo has fought from at Madison Square Garden? A lot of times under Top Ranks banner, correct? Whole fan base over there. That community. His community with his heritage. They support Teo. But then again, Shakur Stevenson is from where? Newark, New Jersey. 20-minute drive to New York City. Not even. Probably half an hour. I don't know. Maybe 40 minutes. The bottom line is they're in close proximity of the venue. Home, what I mean is hometown. So we can't say the judge is going to rob somebody. It's a hometown cooking for Teo. Nope. Those guys have to go in there and they have to produce. And I think that they will. But I actually think that this fight is going to be closer than what most people is giving credit for. But I also think that Shakur Stevenson just have too many tools in his toolkit. He just have too many skill sets. With Teofimo Lopez's career inside that boxing ring, his performances have declined. That's just my personal opinion. His physique has improved, but his performance have declined. And if Shakur Stevenson is on the snack program for this fight, watch him in rounds 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 10. You heard it first right here. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't